Hey guys. So, I figured something I would do is I would try to recover my files. I was able to recover some of the training gameplay from when I had to get a banana cream pie to turn into somebody to continue the rest of my toon tasks. So, I was able to get that footage recovered. Sadly, I don't think there's any sound or anything over it, so I'll just basically just record a little talk over while we go through things. And there's just a couple things that I want to talk about as we go over things. So the first one is I finally got an email back from Toontown Rewritten, and it is the most generic piece of shit I have ever seen in my entire life. It's actually really depressing how garbage their response was to what I asked them. So for you guys who might have remembered, I said, "Hi, I was banned for 2 weeks for inappropriate behavior or language or whatever you wanted to ban me for, because it wasn't actually clarified. And I was curious as to why. But now that the ban is lifted and nobody's gotten back to me, I guess that doesn't really matter. But now I'm chat restricted permanently, and I find this incredibly silly since I have no idea or clue what I have done wrong. I'd like to know why, and I hope you can get back to me ASAP. Thank you." So obviously the first message that always goes through is Postman Pete. It's just an automated bot. Whatever. But it at least writes it down. Next comes up an actual person named Niamco, who I assume is their support member, leader, or whatever. It said, "Your ticket's now on our way to our moderation team for further review. Kindly note it may take a while before you hear back from us depending on how many tickets are ahead of yours. You receive an email as soon as a moderator has taken care of you." I was like, okay, cool. Then they said, "Hi. It appears your account's chat privileges were restored on March 1st, which is false, and was communicated in the initial infraction email. If you still know any experiences with Speech Chat Plus, let us know." They never sent me an email. There was no initial email. This is the only email I have. So, go figure. But, whatever. And whoever wrote this didn't put their signatures, so, I can't point fingers at anybody except the entire moderation team for just being a bunch of jokes. Which is no surprise in a game this small that they could just have whoever they want and just have anybody report anything, and then they're just going to click the ban button because then they don't have to do any actual work. Heaven forbid. But that's okay. So next up, something I want to talk about is just like the whole hardcore Toontown thing that we're doing right now, right? It's pretty simple, if you want the rules, I'll just state the rules right now. What we've been doing is from the start of the game, there's no training allowed unless it's towards a toon task or a cog suit. There's no racing or golf allowed. You're allowed to garden and fish. If you die, you have to delete your toon. There's also the aspects of no for fun toon tasks until we complete everything. We will be allowed to golf and go-kart after we get all the cog suits to max before we do FO, because FOs can be incredibly scary and difficult, especially if you don't have close to max laugh. It's just a pretty straightforward, goofy, fun time that I think anybody could do, especially on this kind of game. It's really simple to play, especially Toontown Rewritten. The thing is, you just take sound and you complete all the content with no difficulties at all. And now that my sound is completely done and some of my other stuff is starting to wrap up, like my throw is completed and I'm almost done with Squirt, so it's going to be just Lure Trap and Toon-up left, I figured I would just get ready for Cashbot here in a minute. And like I said, because these recordings come out at the speed of my editor, and we're only doing one every Tuesday, it's a very slow but very well thought out and planned process of how everything's going. And I just kind of wanted to get you guys caught up on it and just give you the full layout of the rules, just in case you would actually like to attempt this yourself, because I'd actually encourage anybody to attempt this. It's a pretty fun run. It's a different challenge run compared to the other stuff of like no insert gag here. That is a very common one, like no sound, no tune-up are two very common ones that I see often enough. thematic tunes are also technically sort of a challenge run where you have to choose which gags you want, and then you can only level them up to a certain level. Like one of the people that I was playing with, they have a thematic tune where they have their throw maxed at banana cream perfectly, so it's only at like the 4,000, and then they stopped, or 2,000, whatever, which one it was, and then they had squirt gun, and then all their other gags were completely maxed, but they left those two alone. Or just like people with ironic tune names like Soundless, and then they have max sound and nothing else. Just, silly shit like that. It especially gives you a new light on how to play the game when you have such limited resources, and how to best go about it with your groups, because you have to communicate a lot, especially early on, or you will go green quite often if you're not communicating what you want to communicate. Other than that, the series has been going pretty well. It's been going pretty steady. We've gotten quite a bit done, and I'm very happy with that. Like I said, I'm already working on my Cashbot suit, so that's going to take a minute until we get here. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up the rest of our episodes. We're going to do the entirety of the Cellbot suit as a montage, just kind of like with this. This is a training montage that I had planned anyway to get to the banana cream pie, because I definitely did not have enough gag training for the banana cream pie yet. And I figure what I'll do is I'll go through each and every time I've done VP, and then I'll just take snippets of whatever my favorite moments are, and then I'll just kind of do something like I'm doing here now, where I just kind of talk over my favorite moments that we had at VP. And if any of you joined me, I'd love to hear what you guys had it in store as well with your VP sessions. Again, I'd just like to reiterate that I'm sorry that some of those episodes have been lost, just because I'm new to content creation, and sadly, I didn't realize that if you type out a name for some videos and then you do it for other videos, and the older videos get deleted if you run out of memory, and I wasn't taking care of my memory because I didn't think I'd ever use up an entire terabyte of hard drive, because it just seemed incredibly vast to me. Because before I started doing content creation, with all my games I had downloaded, I still had 500 gigs between all my games. And I was like, oh, there's no way that like recording these videos is going to soak up that much. And especially with Toontown, with recording it, I did 2-hour sessions of recordings, and it boiled down to only having like 4 gigabytes or less of recording space. And I was like, oh, this is super simple. I can just record a couple of these, throw them up, and then it'll be good. My editor will fix them up, and it'll make it really nice. And then it kind of just, fell flat when that happened. So now I had to buy an external hard drive. I got a 4 terabyte one just specifically for videos. That way, if I'm recording too much and my editor can't keep up, or if there's just stuff that I want to record or talk about, then I can just throw it on there and then wait for my editor to be ready for more stuff to get thrown in there and have it all be nice. But yeah, this episode's probably not going to be a super long one, because I don't really have that much to talk about, and I really don't want you guys to sit here through 4 to 8 hours of training montage instead of it just being sped up and just kind of going over everything. I just kind of want it to be something more of an update before we get into the next actual episode, which will be my recorded episode 14. But it'll probably be boiled down to where we would actually be, which would probably be episode 18 or so, in actuality, between all the different episodes. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. You guys take care, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday with an actual episode. Bye, guys.